And maybe people disagree with me on that, but I'm curious.
No, this isn't one of disagreements. It's one of like, do you think it's possible to create a new tradition like that? Because so many of those traditions were based in things divine, and in this world, like I don't think anything divine. Like I don't think there's going to be another Moses clearing of the Red Sea. I don't think there's going to be another Muhammad and I don't know what he did, to be honest.
Gabriel, something like that.
Yeah, or a Jesus or anything like that. Like, do you think it's even, because I just thought about that, like what you're talking about with creating a new tradition. But can you really create a tradition with a capital T if we don't have any sort of like divine attachment to it? Because like, let's be honest, unless you're like the evangelicals or like a lot of the people that like take a lot of it literally, that think like something otherworldly and divine is going to happen on earth. Like, do you think it's possible to have that tradition that's strong? Because it's based on something, miraculous. It's based on, the things Jesus did. It's based on the story of Moses and how they escaped in that divine sort of way. And it's based on, like with the prophet of, Muhammad and how they got rid of I do those stories, which about the Antichrist and all this stuff, like all that's divine stuff. And like I said, I put money on the fact that we're not going to have that again. So how can society even start a new tradition if you don't have that?
So I would say, actually, I disagree with the premise.
Fuck you.
Well, I just disagree with the premise that we're post-divine. What I think is that we're in a very interesting historical epoch, an era that is ultimately ephemeral, that will pass, that is a turn away from the divine. But I think in that total turning away, it creates the conditions for turning back towards it. And so actually I think like humanity in 500 years, humanity in 5,000 years, will still have religion, will still have divinity, will still have this impulse to the mystery of the cosmos. You will never through science and logic ever understand the origins of the universe, what came before it. We can only study the debris of the Big Bang and sort of deduct our way back to what could have happened. But even when we get there, we don't know what happened before it. And if you posit a multiverse, well, who created the multiverse or what created the multiverse? And if nothing created it, how can something come out of nothing? The question just gets pushed back further and further, always leaving room for the divine. There's always going to be mystery, and I think there's always going to be divine, supernatural beliefs, etc. And this hyper-scientific, atheistic, secular period of life is a necessary stage in our overall growth as a species.